Yeah, great challenge in this, I guess, moment with where we're at in the season and what's at stake. So we get a very strong opponent in good form, and I know our guys are looking forward to the challenge.
Do you find it, because with the international break, obviously it was probably good for rest and things like that, getting guys healthy, but do you find it is there a challenge in getting guys ramped up again for a rivalry? I imagine not, but like just because of the long time between games, does that impact kind of the feeling this week?
No, the trainings have been really good. I think the energy within the group has been good, and we get a couple extra days to work on some things, but sometimes there can be a lull in that break, but that wasn't the feeling that I got from our trainings. The guys have been excellent.
Pat, is it a little frustrating to have had the situation play out for Columbus in the most recent matchup, and that you don't get the full perspective of that most recent game to kind of learn from what they might be doing now, or is there enough data now to know what they're about?
I think there's enough to know what they're about. We won't analyze the Seattle game, missing personnel, the circumstances. So there's enough games out there to take a look at them and try to do our best in preparation, but it doesn't change much for us personally.
In looking back at the last time you guys played Columbus, the three center backs played such a crucial role in kind of helping eliminate what Columbus wanted to do, especially with possession. Those same three center backs won't be available for this match. Do you feel like there's a similar approach you can take with the group that's available, or will it require something different given the personnel?
Yeah, we've looked at different things over the last 2 weeks, and the challenges we face are some of the absences and just being thin in the center back position. So we've utilized many options along our back line, and at different times guys have stepped up and done a really good job. At times we've struggled, so certainly it won't be easy, but we got to get on with it and try to do our best to prepare our guys to understand how they can be successful and what challenges they'll face with our opponent.
I wanted to ask you about a couple current events type stuff. As a former U.S. soccer coach, I was wondering what you thought of Pochettino's hiring.
We'll see. Obviously a big name in our sport, and somebody that'll bring credibility and a nice resume to the to the U.S. soccer landscape. But that's, I guess, to be determined. It's certainly been a challenging, I guess, period of time with performances, results, where we're at. I think people are probably going to be excited about this. We'll have, I imagine the players, and the next time they're all together, we'll create a little buzz and some positive energy to move forward. So again, certainly a big name in the game, and hopefully the right fit for our national team and what's ahead of us.
And I was curious because throughout your time here, and I guess it's just the normal course of events that like officiating stuff can become a hot button thing for any club. But I was just thinking this past week, and Wilfred was one of these guys, Caleb being another. They had really strong pointed remarks about officiating. I think both were reprimanded. Caleb, I think, got suspended for his. I just wonder, you like to speak your mind, give opinions. We appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty. But I just wonder, where's the line there of I don't know. Do you feel like this is a necessary thing that coaches need to take on? Maybe start to do it in a collective way, or what are your thoughts on that? Because it seems like the rhetoric is just getting stronger, louder. more pointed, and it feels like this is maybe coming to a head.
A lot to unpack there.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Different talking points with the frustrations of both managers. Again, I say it all the time. It's not just us. You know, when we have, or I have comments and want to protect our group, you know, it's not like it's only happening to FC Cincinnati. So, you know, one was around I think obviously the calls in the game, but new rules and initiatives with time wasting, and so we got to use that as a reminder to some of our new additions about that rule in particular. So we try to benefit from maybe others' challenges and frustrations. You know, with Wilford's comments, it was based around, you know, the way you can fill out your roster over the course of the season, and I think their frustrations are certainly reasonable. We're trying to better the game and make sure that situations like that don't happen. You know, whether it's the fault of the club or the league, we shouldn't have field players in goal. That's my take on that situation. But I think the frustrations of what managers are saying are based on areas of the game that can improve, and we're still trying to find solutions to those areas. It's not easy, but there needs to be improvement.
And is it always, do you feel like it's always been like this, just, you know, managers sounding off, or is it a little more, is there a little more friction there between?
It's always been like this.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Is there any update on Teenage and when you guys expect him, and if he could have a role this weekend?
He's meant to arrive this evening, and you know, it's a long travel day for him, so hopefully everything goes according to plan and he'll be in the building tomorrow. But you know, we'll kind of assess where he's at when he arrives.
And then Yamil back in the group. Where is he physically? Is he capable of a full workload? Do you have to manage him at all?
He's,
and then Lucho as well.
You know, he's still building his fitness, but he's available, which is a positive for our group. He's been working really hard, and he was really disappointed with the setback. But by setback, I mean with just the injury. So because he was in good form, and we're happy to have him back, and you know, he'll play a role. With Lucho, this break has helped him to physically get into a better place, and he's pushed himself for the last 10 days and gotten a lot of extra work, more than the rest of the group, to try to build his fitness back. So, you know, we'll just kind of manage both of them with what we see.
Pat, I apologize I wasn't able to follow up with you on this after the Montreal game. I was off asking other weird questions. But you said of Kevin Kelsey, he scored a couple goals early, maybe had a dip in form, but he's had a good couple of weeks and is progressing in a good way. Could you kind of, you know, we see the goal against Montreal. Could you kind of elaborate on what you've seen of Kevin that's earned that praise and what he's done in that last couple of weeks to pick up?
Yeah, game understanding, how he moves with the game, how he moves with the play to be available. You know, being able to get past mistakes or, you know, frustrations. You know, he's still there's still a lot of improvement there for him, and those are some of the things that have, you know, subtly improved, and continue to work with him to try to bring out the best in you know, his ability. And you know, I think he's you know, making, like I said, subtle strides, but that's because the expectation from him, you know, within himself and then from us is high. So there's a lot more for him to offer, and it's part of a young player that's with a new team in a new league that's, you know, developing and progressing in a way that it'll only get better. But, you know, those were some of the areas that we had talked about previously that, you know, I think we've seen improvements.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luca's goal, the 79-yarder, I was just wondering, because he's now done that twice from midfield or beyond, do you think that can kind of open up space for your offense, like our goalkeepers? Do you think they're going to have to make sure they're staying back more? Like, do you feel like that can change things for you guys at all?
Not particularly. These are, the instincts of a player in the moment to recognize a potential advantage. So it's not something you work on. It's not something you talk about too much. Can creative players, catch teams and the opponent off in moments like that. But, maybe if you're an opponent now and you've seen it twice, you're going to be a little bit more prepared for it. But no, I don't think it changes too much.
Pat,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.